So eating disorders affect children's thinking in a few different ways. Probably one of the clearest and most immediate is that it often interferes with their ability to pay attention to things, to focus, to concentrate. And it's partly because when a brain isn't getting enough food, it thinks about what it needs, which is food. And so people with eating disorders often say that they're preoccupied with thoughts about food and eating and calories and shape and weight, that they find it really hard to concentrate on things, even things that they're really interested in doing. Another really profound way that eating disorders affect the way people think is that they start to see the eating disorder as kind of their best friend. They become very protective of the eating disorder and they don't want to give it up. And I think that's something that parents find very confusing when they're trying to help their child get better, is that they meet with so much resistance from the eating disorder. And it can be sometimes hard for parents to understand that way of thinking. Sometimes they feel like the child has to get on board and they have to want to get better. Eating disorders don't let people do that for the most part. It makes it really hard for them to think clearly. And so they're not really able to make smart decisions about what they need to do to be healthy. Eating disorders are not rational, they're not logical, and in those areas of a child's life, in areas that relate to eating and food and weight and health, they're not able to make rational, logical decisions. The eating disorder just doesn't allow them to. It's really important for parents to understand that when their child has an eating disorder, that they can't sort of rationalize with their child or try to reason with them or try to get them on board and want to get better. So it doesn't make much sense for parents to say, it's okay, just eat it. Nothing bad is going to happen. The eating disorder just doesn't allow their child to understand that and to think about that in a rational way. So it's really important for parents to understand that, if their child is suffering from an eating disorder, that they need to get treatment and not necessarily wait for their child to get on board with that. Kids with eating disorders can often think very clearly about other aspects of their lives. So it doesn't mean that they're totally irrational in every area, but just in the issues that are related to food and eating and weight and calories. For more information about eating disorders, visit uofmhealth.org.